the Wild Dogs 2025 campaign briefing meeting for what happens from now all the way to World Under 24. Yay! And the emojis go wild. Whoa. Okay, cool. So, first slide. Yeah, as soon as we start, someone wants to be admitted. So, first slide, the meeting overview. We have inter-regional tournament dates, costs announcements, updated campaign timeline, um, local tours, when, where, how much, World Under 24, and the emojis go wild. The best case scenario with money, the worst case scenario with money, and then the likely scenario. So we're just gonna have a plan, go with that plan, and then if we get money, then you get money back. Yay! How we're gonna get that money is with fundraising. There are going to be various types of fundraisings, or yeah, fundraisers. And yeah, we're going to have a workshop to just run through that. We're going to chat about holiday plans, and then we're going to have an open floor. Hopefully, we'll be done within an hour with all of these things. Are there any? No, actually, we're saving questions to the end. That's why the open Q&A is there. So write down all your questions so that we can pump through all this information. Okay, inter-regional tournament. Yay! Drum roll, please, for the inter-regional tournament announcements, because inter-regional tournament is going to happen in Bloemfontein, yay, on the 8th and 9th of February, yay. Yes, Bloemfontein on the 8th and 9th of February, congratulations, Sun Gazers, great bid. So, what we like about this bid is that it gives us a little bit of flexibility. Oops. It gives us a little bit of flexibility. So, yeah, by that we mean there are two options. The first option is Unisi High School, two grass fields with the standards, there's secure parking, restrooms, change rooms, 20-minute drive from the airport, 4-minute drive from the bus depot, shaded areas near around the field. Medics will be there, drinking stations, potential snack boxes, depending on how much money we have. And then there'll also be on-site food vendors and catering for all the athletes. We have like someone in the frisbee community that is like within the food truck community in Bloemfontein. So that's pretty exciting. So it offers affordable on-site accommodation with meals included, subject to certain parameters. So yeah, in close range to budget guest houses and hostels. So if you don't want to do that, but we'd probably want to go there because we have a package deal where you will get, oh, that's gonna come later. Okay, so that's option one. Option two is St. Michael's schools, a lot of the same stuff. Accommodation and meals will not be included on this side. So yeah, you're going to have to organize that independently. So that's why we would prefer Unisi versus St. Michael's, which is the backup option. We'll specify close to the time once we iron out some details. How much? So the player fee per player at Unisi, it'll be 200, 300 per player, depending on the number of attendees. And then it covers the cost for four medics and potentially inter-regional tournament streaming. And then accommodation, 400 Rand per night, which includes 6 meals, covers the cost of fields and amenities. Accommodation will be at the school's dormitories. So it's 2 people per room. And this is the big thing. We need at least 100 people, at least 100 people um, there at a time for us to get this deal. So that's why we have the backup option there. Right now, we're sitting at about 80 people, including staff and players. With all the players that have told us that they're not coming, we've accounted for those, and we're sitting at about 80. So we're probably going to open that up to parents, supporters, the streaming staff, just so that we can get over that 100 um, yeah, that 100 amount of people at the accommodation. St. Michael's player fee will be 300, 400, depending on the number of players. Cost cover fields, 4 medics, possible streaming, doesn't include meals. So there's reasonable accommodation in Bloemfontein with budget guest houses and hostels. 250, excuse me, 250 per night would be the cheapest, but once again, that excludes meals unless offered at the guest house or hostel within that budget, but that's probably not the 250 Rand per night. So yeah, the top option is a little bit cheaper. Um, Known IRT expenses. So in terms of transport, this will vary on depending on where you're coming from. So flights from Joburg to Bloemfontein, 1,600 at the moment. So that's return. Um, and yeah, Cape Town is 1,200. Oh, it's each way. Each way. Okay, cool. And then there are bus prices there. You can get between 340 to 620 coming from Joburg, Durban, Cape Town, and East London. And then a drive. We checked out some AA rates, probably gonna cost you between 735 and 1,000 or 1,800, actually close to 1,900 coming from Joburg, Cape Town, Durban, and that's excluding tolls one way. Then also another expense is kits. So we've made it compulsory for each player participating in the inter-regional tournament to have one dark shirt for their region that they're representing. We've sent out those order forms. Make sure you get those order forms in ASAP. Um, yeah, so that we can sort out the orders. So you're just gonna let someone in. The long sleeve costs 270, short sleeve 180. Did someone put their hand up? No. Wait, hold on. Questions at the end. Please write that down. We have to rush through a lot. I'm so sorry. Yes, so you can order more kits if you want. There is light kits available, but the dark kit is compulsory. And if you can't manage that, please chat to the staff. Okay, so squad selection, the big thing that we're going to be a little bit nervous for. The traveling squad that's going to be used, or that's going to play um, in the tours, the national tours, is going to be a squad of 26. So it's going to be the biggest squad that we can have according to WU24 regulations. So 26 players will be selected for the first tour, 13 female, 13 male. And then the second tour is probably going to happen after we make our um, we have to lock in our roster, and we're looking to get that roster down to 20 players, and that's going to be for the second tour, 10 female, 10 male matching players. And yeah, this will be due on the 30. So the final roster is due to WU24 on the 30th of April. So by that time, we will know who is traveling and who is staying. There's a payment plan worked out for everyone leading up to that stage that we'll explain just now. Um, Extenuating circumstances. If you're unable to make the RT but still want to be considered part of the traveling squad, life happens, we understand. We understand. If it happens to you, um, yeah, if there's anything that prevents you from going, please tell us. Um, we're going to probably also have like an excuse form where you put in like why you can't make it. Um, and also in that form, you're also going to say like how many other things you've come to before, just to be like, I'm committed to the program. This is how much I've committed. Check my practices, check the trials, check the training camps, and that's type of stuff. And you're going to put that into a form. So yeah, but just continue showing up to your regional teams practices for prep, because this is where it sort of counts. So yeah, but yeah, if actually we'll get a form out and you'll be able to contact us ASAP explaining why you can't make it to the interregional tournament. Okay, so updated campaign timeline. Here it is. Here it is. Looky, let's see. So NB dates are money dates. So we need to get a 14 player deposit to WU24 by the 16th of December. We're going to chat to SAFTA about sorting that out. But we're going to get that money back through disc sales, through some fundraising there. So, oh, a secret that has just come out. We're going to be selling Wild Dogs discs. Yay! And we're going to get money from them. Yay! They're going to help us pay. Cool. So yeah, from then, uh, interregional training prep we're still in phase two. Yay, look at all those emojis. Interregional training prep, that's going to happen December to January. And then the interregional tournament is going to happen on the 8th and 9th there. The traveling squad announcement is going to happen on the 15th. And then the first player installment for all 26 of the players. So all 26 of the players are going to be paying this installment. That's due on the 21st of Feb. We'll give you that, how much you're going to pay there. The second installment is due on the 20th of March. And then the third installment will be due on the 9th of April. As you can see, the 9th of April is after, sorry, the 9th of April is after, oh, sorry. Oh, okay. There's something wrong with this. Yeah, but the third payment is going to be after we make the final roster lock. Um, so we're probably going to have the roster sorted out by then. So then only the 20 players that will go will pay a different fee on the 9th of April. We'll give you more details for that. Roster lock once again on the 30th of April. In between that, as you can see, Tour 1 will probably be in Cape Town. We're looking around the 29th and 30th of March. Um, so yeah, that's going to be before the second installment. So that's going to be with the 26 player squad. And then, as you can see, the 31st of May, 1st of June, just in between the final roster lock and Logroño, just in between the final roster lock and Worlds, we'll be having a tour there with our final squad. That's going to be in Pietermaritzburg. We'll give you more details about that later. And then Worlds in Spain. We're going there from the 19th so that we could also get some warm up games. And yeah, last day is probably going to be the 30th. Cool. Local tours. Why are we touring locally? For game time and experience. So we're trying to prepare players for high intensity over the course of multiple games per day. So we're trying to emulate World Under 24 conditions. Um, so yeah, so that you can play your best while you're tired. We're also going to use the tours to just iron out some strategies that we want to try out. Yeah, and some plans there. We want to learn from our mistakes, get some reps in before we go so that we don't get to worlds cold, having played with each other in game circumstances only like once or twice. So we're trying to build chemistry with game time prior to the World Under 24 Ultimate Championship. So yeah, we want to put our best against the best. So the touring SA players, it's going to be a little bit cheaper and more efficient for players to travel here than to travel overseas. So it sort of opens up opportunity for you to represent your country, even though you might not be able to maybe afford going to Worlds, or you might not make the squad there, but at least you still get the T-shirt and you still can say that you're a wild dog. So yeah, and if there are injuries, right, you're still we have like a pool of players that have been playing with the team. So yeah, yeah, and we want to play against teams that have tons of experience so that we can also, yeah, like as it says at the top, put the best against the best. Um, cool. The first tour, Cape Town, what to expect? Probably at this point, we'll hope to have our Wild Dogs kit. Try to get 2 light shirts, 2 dark shirts, 2 shorts, and 3 pairs of socks. So we'll have a kit order ready very soon after the interregional tournament. And yeah, you may decide if you want to buy more kits. If we do get a sponsor, they're probably going to cover the essentials and then you buy your own, but that's if we get a sponsor. Um, there might be a slight cost to field, so that might also there might be like a tour fee, higher transport costs for players living outside of Cape Town. But what we did in the previous campaign is that Cape Town players will also pay towards transport to just sort of balance that out. And then accommodation and food costs hopefully will be staying with local players and like that will make the cost go down a lot because you won't be using like accommodation. We'll get a tour outline, a more full tour outline a little bit close to the time, but what we had in mind was 3 games against 3 Cape Town teams on Saturday with the team builder, and then 2 games on Sunday. Maybe get like some old wild dogs, and maybe like a barbarians team to play like 2 games there. But we'll take what we can get. But 5 games is how much we want to do there because we're probably going to have a bigger squad. So yes, that is the plan for Cape Town. The Pietermaritzburg tour. Oh, sorry. One more thing. 29th to 30th of March. But that's not nailed down. We're going to have to see what's available. Pietermaritzburg, we're aiming for 31st of May, 1st of June that weekend. But once again, dates may change. What to expect there? Um, yeah, your kit really needs to be sorted out by then. There might be a slight cost to use fields. So by kit, we mean you won't have to pay for kit by then. It will already have been sorted out. Higher transport costs for players living outside of Pietermaritzburg. Accommodation, once again, we'll hope for local players to cover that. Um, and then there'll also be a Saturday evening team builder. We'll probably get someone to do a talk, and then we'll probably spend some time like interacting with one another just to sort of solidify bonds and that jazz. And also just to get ideas across. So yeah, tour outline is going to be a little bit different. 2 games against the Long Donkeys with the team builder. At Worlds, you generally play 2 games a day. They're sort of spaced out a lot, so there'll be some time in between for us to just sort of emulate a day's play of Worlds. And then once again, two games on Saturday against the Long Donkeys and maybe like a Bunnies Rams combo. But yeah, maybe it could be two games of Bunnies Rams and Donkeys one day, and then Bunnies Rams and Donkeys another day, and we'll see whoever's available. A lot to be seen. Costs, we can't give you all the costs just yet. Right now, we're focusing on the interregional tournaments, but we do want you to be aware of what happens right after that, the tours that you'll be going towards. So yeah, you can start checking prices for transport. Don't book anything just yet because dates haven't been confirmed. We still have to actually get this off the ground, but IRT first, and then we'll be talking about tours. So by after interregional tournament, we'll have more details for you. Cool. At this point, I'm going to hand over to the squad administrator, squad manager, Hannah, to take us through what's going to happen when we go to Logroño, Spain. Cool. Hannah, do your thing.
Cool. Hey, everybody. Yeah, you don't hear too much from me, but like on meetings, but yeah, I'm sure you see me a lot in the chats with a lot of information. So yeah, this is going to be a bit of a long section, so please bear with me. There's going to be a lot of details, but all of the stuff will be shared with you so that you can refer back to it and be like, oh, what was that a cost? And you can go check it out. Okay, cool. So yeah, Worlds is very expensive, and we are trying our best to fundraise for most of the team costs. Um, so yeah, there's no guarantee that we're going to reach our goal of 500,000 rand. That's what we anticipate will cover team fees, player fees, food, accommodation, and then basic kit requirements. Um, so yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at, give or take a few. But yeah, if we don't end up managing to fundraise all of that, we do have a few alternatives. But competing players will share the WU24 team fee costs and contribute to the player fee payment plan, which I will detail a little bit later. On that, though, with the discs fundraising that Tsepo already mentioned, we are looking to put most of the profit, if not all of the profit, into breaking down that really big team fee, which you can see is just over 27,000 Rand at the moment. So on that, these are all cost estimations based on exchange rates today. Who knows what the future will bring? This is just so that you can start financially planning for the case that you make the squad And if that's something that you really want to do, you know what you kind of now need to start working towards. Okay, so worst case, you are going to pay for everything. That is going to be your minimum kit, maybe a few extra shirts if you want to trade. Um, like I said, team fee, you probably won't have to worry about too much. We might need to supplement the difference if we're not able to fundraise more, but we're really working hard on that, guys. I want to reassure you that, yeah, we don't take the expenses of this of this campaign for granted. Then your player fee, again, that's what one player fee costs, but that will be broken down in the player fee payment plan. Again, I'll talk about that just now. What your visa will cost. I went and I checked, and it seems like BLS International handles Spanish visas. And currently, that's what their rates are. That again might also change next year. Who knows? Flights, I looked at flights from Durban, Joburg, and Cape Town, and what they are to Madrid and to Bilbao. Those are the locations that the local organizing committee recommended that players fly to. So between those three major cities and to those two major Spanish cities, we're looking at about between 13,000 and 16,500 Rand each way. There are obviously more expensive options, but that's what we're looking at right now for next year. And then I put the dates in for what I was looking at in Google. So if you want to replicate that, you can. Yeah, and then Bilbao is more expensive. It is a smaller airport. However, it is closer to Logroño. So it's up to you what you would like to do. We're not going to dictate that too much. What we do want is for you to be in Spain as early as you can on the 19th so that we can play hopefully a warm-up match later that day. Then to get from any of those major airports, you can take a bus. And yeah, again, I checked. There's some estimations. Some are more expensive, some are cheaper. This is just what I found. I do encourage you all to go and check it out yourselves as well, and just use this as a basis. So we're hoping to book accommodation through the local organizing committee, because that would mean that transport service between accommodation and fields would be sorted. It doesn't look like that would come at an additional cost to us. It seems like there'll be a bus or shuttle service. It's not too clear. We're waiting for a second bulletin. And yeah, I will, yeah, I'll communicate that once I know. For food, again, the LOC are looking to provide a comprehensive food package, but still waiting for those details. I did do a quick search as to what one would budget in Spain for food per day, and I got 15 to 30 euros. So if we don't do the food budget, that would kind of be what you're looking at. Yeah, and then we'd obviously like to stay together as a team just throughout the tournament. Yeah, the LOC have provided a range of options. There's some cheaper options, there's some mid-range options, there's budget hotels which are a little bit more, well, not a little bit, they're quite a lot more expensive. And I don't think we'd look anything higher than budget hotels, quite frankly. I think we're going to look at a more mid-range option at the Camping La Playa. There's self-catering bungalows, so maybe we could bring food down that way as well if we had to go directly to supermarkets. Right now it's a bit too soon to say. So yeah, team accommodation would be from the 20th of June check-in to 30th of June check-out. We would not be expecting you to check in on the 19th. I think it's just easier for the team to check in on one day altogether. So on the 19th, you may need to sort out your own accommodation. And that is completely up to you. Then just for coaches and people who might be wanting or planning to travel with the team, I've put in what you would need to work towards in terms of paying WIFDF as well. So all in all, we're looking about just under 50K per player, um, all all expenses, and yeah, again, that is also subject to change. So it is quite a large amount. So onto the player fee payment plan. Yeah, so WIFDF require a 14 player fee deposit by the 31st of Jan. And it's quite a large sum of money. It's just under 100K. Um, Due to our timing with the interregional tournament, um, this is just not going to be possible. We cannot um, expect people to come up with that sort of money so soon after finding out that they've been selected. So we're going to be submitting a proposal to WIFDF, and we've got everything planned out. And hopefully they'll agree because we have really good relationship with them. Um, so yeah, all players who make and commit to playing the Wild Dogs campaign in 2025, they'll be required to pay even portions of the total amount of player fees that we would owe to WIFDF in 3 installments. Um, and yeah, that was also detailed in the timeline. But yeah, here you can see what amounts we'd be looking at for how many players, and yeah, these amounts may change, and yeah, the dates also may change depending on WIFDF's feedback, whether they're willing to accommodate us as we've requested or not. So yeah, that's what we're looking at. Another thing to plan for. Um, yeah. So the best case scenario um, would be that we obviously met our 500,000 Rand goal. So fingers crossed, we're working hard. I've listed what that what those funds would cost, or rather, not cost, but what they would cover. Um, and I've also listed what expenses would still be needed to be covered by players. So yeah, it does decrease the overall cost slightly compared to the worst case scenario. Um, However, we are really encouraging players to fundraise. So yeah, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. So the likely case, what will happen is that we will raise enough fees to cover the team fee, and hopefully all the player fees. Um, we would ideally also like to be able to cover the costs of our coaches attending the tournament, for that not to be an expense they have to carry themselves. And then a bonus would be to cover the minimum kit requirements for coaches and for the admin staff attending. But yeah, as you know from the best case scenario, that there's still a lot of money that the players need to foot themselves. So our solution, as mentioned before, is fundraising. We're already working on it, but it's not going to only fall onto our shoulders as the management team. We are expecting players to get involved in fundraising, not only for themselves, but for the team as well. We want to support players through this process. So you're not going to have to figure out personal fundraising on your own, and you're not going to have to do it alone. Um, we're going to have a workshop, which Tsapo will talk a bit more about just now. And yeah, we're going to go through with the payment plan, and we really hope that through our team fundraising that we're able to fully pay back players, parents, legal guardians for their contributions to covering the player fee earlier. If we're not able to do so, whatever we do raise will be split equally and refunded as much as we can. Yeah. So I think that's it from my side. Um, yeah.
Cool beans. Sorry. Cool beans. Thank you very much, Hannah. Yes, lots of applause. Yay, great stuff. Um, so yes, as Hannah said, the fundraising workshop, very important that we equip. Oh, go to the next slide. Very important that we prepare our players for fundraising, and what we're looking to do, or how we're looking to do that, is through fundraising workshops. So how we're going to tackle fundraising is that there'll sort of be three parts to fundraising. There'll be personal fundraising. So in like the best case scenario, where you still have to pay 36K, that's what the personal fundraising is going to help you cover. Um, then there'll be team fundraising, and that's going to tackle the like the likely case if we get all our fundraising right, where we'll sell discs to cover the team fee. We'll see if we can do like fundraising to cover player fee, so that all you're really paying for is um, yeah, like transport and getting there and just being in Spain. Um, and then finally, sponsorship. If we get ourselves like a big fish that can hit like a large amount of money, like very hard, we can get like some kit sponsors that bring us a little bit close to that 500K. Yeah, then all of those fees should be covered. Then our team fee, or not our team fee, our team fundraising will sort of be distributed amongst all the players to take that 36,000 Rand to like maybe 30,000 Rand or 25,000 Rand. So, yeah, the more money we raise, the less money you have to raise on your own. But they all do, we need to do all three for it to work. You can't just do the one or the other. Well, you can do the one, but yeah, it gets pretty strenuous if you're carrying it all on your own. And sponsorships are probably not going to pay for everything. So yeah, we sort of need a balance. And also GES, team fundraising, that's lacquer. So the goal of the fundraising workshop is to leave the workshop with task forces to facilitate fundraising leading up to the World Under 24 tournament. I'll go into that into a few more details as we get into volunteers, but we're looking to have the three different parts of the workshop between the 9th and the 15th of December. The sooner we can actually start discussing and start getting task forces activated, yeah, the more time it gives us to find some really big sponsors. If we do it before Christmas, maybe you know you have a rich uncle that like really just needs to give to a team, and that could be us. So yeah, we want to get that going ASAP. So yeah, look out for an announcement for the fundraising workshop. I see your question, Bryce. Please put in the chat so we can do it later. Or okay, I understand. Um, so yeah, volunteers. We're going to need volunteers to help run the workshops. So what I mean is like we have the framework, we have like the places that need to be addressed or things that need to be addressed, but we're going to need people that sort of bring experience to not only help present, you might not do all the presenting, like I'll be there, but also to help carry the task forces like later on. So yeah, if you also have any, or please contact us if you have any like fundraising ideas that you can help with. Yeah, like it's all good and well that you have some cool ideas and we'll take them, but we're looking more for people that are also able to, step in and volunteer to a certain extent. So I'm not discouraging any ideas, but I'm rather encouraging for us to find people that can actually like carry this load with the administration. So yeah, if you're looking to do like some personal fundraising, if you have some ideas there, bring experience with maybe like a GoFundMe campaign, or maybe you had like a personal fundraising tracker. Maybe you've been like a past wild dog and you had to like watch how your funds grew, for example, and you can sort of present that to us. Please, like, bring that through. Um, Team fundraising. Um, we need people to help make and sell merchandise. I think merchandise would be a very good thing. Question recognized. We're taking questions later. Would be a good way for us to raise funds as a team, and you can get competitions going. So that's where like the discs, for example, um, the wild dog discs that we have made will come into play. And yeah, if there are other things, maybe a disc clip for those discs, maybe you have a 3D printer and you're keen to get that going, and you really want to activate people, um, yeah, like all over the country. Yeah, we can have a plan as a squad to get things going. There was also a kit drive that Sam Bovum ran in the previous campaign. We're just going to need someone, if they're keen to bring it up again, we can do that again. We have the structure. Yeah, we just need people to actually do it. So yeah. Then finally, with sponsorships, if you know any sponsors or you're keen to help look for sponsors, that would be great. Yeah, so now we're talking to like parents, um, like local businesses. Yeah, if you know anyone that yeah could contribute to the cause, that'd be great. We have a sponsorship proposal. I should have actually put in the slides, where you can get different tiers of sponsorships. Like you could be a title sponsor for the interregional tournament, for example, and then that will be there like in the streaming. You can be on our kits at Worlds as well, so you can get some world exposure. We can also do some social media campaigns. That's all detailed in the sponsorship proposal. So yeah, if you are keen to be involved in running with that, yeah, we'll give you all the tools you need to do that. So that's what the volunteers will be needed for. Oops. So I basically just explained that there. That slide wasn't complete. But yes, I think the holiday plans. Oh, moving on to the holiday plans. So prepping for the interregional tournament. I'm not sure people know, but there have been fitness challenges that have been posted on the announcements of the Wild Dogs community on WhatsApp. Coaches have planned bi-weekly fitness challenges that are in progress. Challenge 2 was posted yesterday. So challenge 1 was for um, conditioning. Um, so there was conditioning stuff there. There's also throwing, and there's also mental toughness. So there's different throwing and catching in the first challenge, and there was also setting goals in the first one. The second one, there's strength training, um, break mark throwing, and visualizing your goals. Yeah, that's the mental toughness thing. So yes, as you can see here, yeah, so I basically explained that. So we strongly encourage players to participate and track their sessions on the fitness tracker that has also been shared. And this will also be aware this also helps inform traveling team selection. So if you really want to like take this making the team by the horns, yeah, take these fitness challenges seriously, do them, post them, share them, get people involved. Like get your local pack, your region involved in like a competition as well. Really get the vibe going. And yeah, tag us on social media because that's going to also like help grow uh, yeah, just the image of the wild dogs. So then regional team prep. Each regional team has a coach and management staff, and yeah, they are actively preparing all of the teams for the regional tournament. So there've been team training sessions, community scrims. We recognize online sessions have been planned, and also watch parties. We're also going to have a watch party. There's some resources that I want us to learn to use when we're going into worlds, just for like scouting purposes and being able to see what's happening in front of us. So yeah, that's what the watch parties will be for, and the administration will sort of run with that. And with that, yeah, our presentation is over. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for staying. We have 15 minutes to take any questions and yeah, for us to answer them. So yes, we'll start with the person who has their hand up. Uh, Lil Tempo. Um, yes, tell us what is your question, Lil Tempo?
Just wanted to ask, is the transport for there and back covered?
Where and back?
To the training camp.
The tours.
Yes, like I'm gonna pay for once we pay. It says 360. Is that for there and back or?
Let's see. So when you say training camp, this 36K, is that what you're talking about here?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So this covers your flights there and back, I'm assuming. Actually, Hannah should answer this question. Hannah?
So as you can see on the right-hand side, it would that 36, no, it's I need that page. Thank you. So that number includes return flights to Spain as they are currently estimated at the moment, the cost of your visa as it is costing at the moment, potential transport to the venue. I kind of did an average between the cheapest and the most expensive. Um, and then, yeah, one night accommodation in Logrono is not accounted for because that's on you to sort out, and you can find the most luxurious or the most cheapest accommodation. It's up to you. And then I think I also added in like 2 additional shirts. So that's kind of what that 36K um, includes. It's very much not a fixed number, and it's certainly not an accurate number either. It's just something to plan towards, and this is also for the best case scenario. Um, so what your actual costs might be as an individual might be slightly more, depending on how well we fundraise.
Thank you so much.
Sure thing.
So you just have to unmute the mic on the recording software. Um, just to Dan, your question on the chat was probably related to Lil Tempo, which I'm assuming is Tempo's question. Um, was he asking about the main tournaments, as in Logroño, Spain, or asking about the interregional tournaments in terms of what the fees cover? I think it was the main tournaments because transport for the interregional tournaments. Sorry, yeah, is over here. Um, so, Han, these flights, is this one way or both ways?
So at the moment, when I went on to Safair, it's for Joburg, it's 1,161 rand and 44 cents one way and back. So return, it's the exact same amount there and back return flight. Um, and for Cape Town as well. I know usually there's a slight difference, but yeah, that's what it is now. Because flights to Bloemfontein are not super regular. And Joburg and Cape Town, I think are yeah, Durban didn't even have a flight to Bloemfontein. So yeah, sorry for the confusion.
So just to clarify, it's total, that's 1,000. So it's 1,100 one way, and then back is also 1,100. So total will be 2,200 essentially, or a little bit more. Is that it? Okay, little tempo, have your questions been answered? Can I lower your hand?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, sweet. The next hand up was Sia. Sia from the southern region, I'm assuming.
Yes. This is Sia, assistant coach for the Southern Regional team. Glad to be here. Happy to hear you all here. My question might seem a bit like out of pocket, but maybe I'm reaching too much. But has the Department of Sports and Recreation been informed about anything like this, or should we approach them regionally in terms of any assistance that we may need?
Not gonna lie, I haven't considered the Department of Sports and Recreation. Yeah, it just hasn't been our MO as the Ultimate Frisbee community. So if you are keen and you have the contacts, and yeah, then let's go ahead and give it a shot. Will we be able to? Will I be able to do it? Not necessarily. So I'm going to need someone to actually step in and do that. Yeah, you can jump in, Dan Rushton. I see. If
Hello,
it's to address
everybody.
this.
Thanks, Seppo. Good to see you again. So you could reach out to them. There is I mean, I don't know how they're going to respond, and obviously that might change from region to region. But as yet, South Africa doesn't recognize ultimate frisbee as a sport. So it isn't registered as a sport yet in South Africa. So the chances that you're going to get funded as a sport is relatively low. So we are working on that currently as SAFTA to get registered as a sport. But as of yet, not. I can officially say that as of yesterday. But yeah, so far we haven't confirmed that as a sport. So you probably won't get funding. Is what I was trying to say. Sorry.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate you getting back to us, and also congratulations on your new post. I'm looking forward to all the amazing work you're going to be doing. And yeah, man, look, I do have contacts to answer your question. I do not necessarily contacts. I just have people that I know in the Department of Sports and Recreations here in the Southern region, in the Eastern Cape, rather. I can chat to them and inform them, just it might help us here in our region to go further and more like when it comes to funding. I'm not too sure because I don't know how much time they would have to take when it comes to actually fund an association or a whole team, but it's something that I can continue the conversations with the ladies and gentlemen that I know of.
Yeah, I think yeah, this is a good conversation for after, so we can get some other questions going. But yeah, let's get on to the next one. Hand, is that your hand up, or
It's just about time. Should I create another meeting link in case we want to continue Q&As?
no? Not yet.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Next question. Sorry.
Hi everyone.
Next,
Sorry, Seppo. I just jumped in there. I hope you don't mind.
go.
Okay, I'm Charlotte. I'm the new development representative for SAFTA. I've got thank you guys. I've got some ideas that I'll discuss with Seppo, but I'd love to participate in your fundraising campaign and I will give it my all. I took some notes and I'll touch base with Seppo after the meeting over my ideas and we can see what we can do together. That's it. Thank you so much. That's all I wanted to say.
Wonderlijk. Wunderbar. Great stuff. Okay.
Dankie.
Thank you. Okay, so we have some fundraising volunteers. Tian, and then Dan. Oh, Tian's hand is down because he's about to talk.
Yes, I'm about to talk. Can you hear me, Tipper?
Yes, I can.
How are you doing? Doing good?
Lekker, thanks. And yourself? I'm pressing. I'm pressing. I'm staying
That's,
pressed.
that's good to hear. That's good to hear. I just have a quick question regarding the inter-regional tournament. By when will we be able to know the times we'll be playing? The reason I'm asking is about when we can know for which flights we need to book. Like if we can book an early morning Saturday flight, or if we must book a Friday evening flight, and then also the Sunday if we can be able to book a afternoon or an evening flight. Just have to figure out which flights we will be able to book.
Hannah is willing to answer that question. I'll answer after her.
So Tian, that really depends on where we host. So to my understanding, if we go with Unisi, then you would arrive Friday afternoon. Then you'd be able to get dinner and then would start early Saturday morning. And then, yeah, when I checked the flights, I think on Sunday there was like a 3 o'clock flight or something. And we might still be going at that time. So you might want to leave early on Monday morning. I think there was a Monday morning flight, but it was a little bit more expensive than the Sunday, if I recall. Also, I was checking for 3 different places, so that might not have been for Cape Town necessarily. Yeah, but that's the answer I can give you for now. And yeah, we really are working with the TOC to confirm things as soon as possible, and that will be communicated hopefully end of this week, early next week.
Okay, thank you very much, Hannah. Thank you very much, Ebba. Good day for you guys further.
You're welcome.
Hello. I had a question about the you're splitting the payments over a bunch of things, like installments. If you am I understanding it right that if you make the 26 traveling squad, you're still gonna have to make that payment? What happens if you don't make the final team then?
Oh, thanks for bringing that up. I actually forgot about that. Okay, so actually let me present that slide. So what's going to happen is if we go to the shared documents, our local tours payment plan, installment payment plan. Okay, so the payment plan, what we're trying to do is we're trying to turn this 14 player deposit into 3 separate 8-player deposits. So it'll go, we're paying for 8 players, then we're paying for 8 players, and then the last one we're going to pay for 4 players. So installment number 1 is 26 players are paying for 8 players, right? So everyone does that. Second installment, same thing. Then third installment, by that time we'll know who's made the squad. What we're going to do is we're going to make the 2,200 that you played available to be refunded. And that's why the third installment is going to be more expensive for less players. So yeah, in the past, some players have been like, it's fine, I'll leave that money there. But yeah, we will refund you the 6 players that don't make it. Yeah, or yeah, so the refund will be there as an option. But you never know what could happen, because if we give it to you too early and then there's an injury, then you have to give it back. Then it's like, so yeah, I don't know the timelines and how that's going to work, but yeah, the 4,400 would probably be paid back. Yes. Hope that was recorded. Yes, it was. Are there any other questions? Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, so that means that we were punctual. Nice. Nice. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming and checking this out. We're going to make this available on YouTube probably sometime tonight. Tell your friends, tell your parents, tell the sponsors, because let's make some money, guys. Let's do it. Let's make it as cheap as possible, because this could be pretty exciting. Yes, Charlotte. Oh, you're just putting your hands up in the air and waving like you just don't care, because we are going to Logroños. See. Okay, cool. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you later.